again our pianist, accompanist, and musical magician, Bob Maureen. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another wonderful, fun episode of Those Thrilling Days of Yesteryear, a live recreation of your favorite shows from the golden age of radio. Today we take a look at the comic strips that have made it to the airwaves. Now, before there was TV, there was radio. Before there was radio, there was the newspaper. And the funnies appeared in the pages as early as the late 1800s, with such memorable characters as the Yellow Kid, Max and Moritz, and the legendary Katzenjammer Kids. Now, as the years passed, comic strips came and went, and began to hit a surge of popular stories in the 1930s, which was also the same time that radio entertainment began to boom. It was inevitable that radio producers would turn to stories that were already popular and draw people to the airwaves. And so shows like Flash Gordon, Little Orphan Annie, Moon Mullins, and Superman appeared on the radio, and fans got to hear their favorite characters come to life. Today, we bring you 3 shows that were quite popular in those days, and perhaps they're still familiar names today. Now, our first show features a well-known, one-eyed sailor who had a certain fancy for a tall, lean woman and a certain vegetable that gave him the ability to perform amazing feats of strength. Now, at least that's the food, we certainly know what food he eats today. Who knows it? Spinach. Very good. However, in his 1936 radio appearance, the super strength food of choice just happened to not be spinach, but instead the show's sponsor. A little creative license there. Our second show is Gasoline Alley. And what made this strip so unique is the fact that as the strip progressed through the years, and eventually decades, the characters in the story aged along with it. And the series literally began with the birth of little baby Skeezix. And then readers got to watch him grow through his childhood, teen years, and into adulthood, all progressing basically in real time. Our show, which originally aired October 15th, 1948, presents him as a young adult and the crazy mixed-up adventures with his friends as they run an auto shop. And our final show originally aired, amazingly enough, exactly 40 years before Gasoline Alley, October 15th, 1944. Complete coincidence, I promise. And it shows what happens when a beautiful young girl named Blondie Boopadoop marries her hapless boyfriend Dagwood Bumstead. And incidentally, yes, her name did come from that popular song, I Want to Be Loved by You, Boop Boop Badoop. And it was a very popular song, and so they made a character named after that. And then they realized that they wanted to marry her to young Dagwood. And quickly, the focus of the strip turned to Dagwood and his unfortunate antics, and it's still running in papers today. Now, before all that begins, we'll have a short visit from Comic Weekly Man, a rare and unique show that ran in the early 50s. With music, sound effects, and help from Little Miss Honey, kids got to catch up on all the latest adventures of their favorite newspaper strips from Puck the Comic Weekly section of the Hearst newspapers. Characters like Prince Valiant and Flash Gordon and Beetle Bailey, Little Iodine, and a few special characters that we'll meet today. And we'll do our best to perform them all for you, word for word, complete with music, sound effects, stampeding elephants, hypnotized lambs, and painted police. And while you are listening, you might pretend that you are one of those who had the fortune of listening to the live studio audience as they watch their favorite performers do their thing. Or perhaps you might just wish to sit back, relax, close your eyes, and imagine that you are sitting in your living room in front of the old Philco radio, anxiously awaiting for your show to begin. So now, join us as we take you back to those thrilling days of yesteryear. I'm the Comic Weekly Man, the jolly Comic Weekly Man, and I'm here to read the funnies to you happy boys and honeys. Yes, boys and girls, it's Comic Weekly time, and here I come right into your house to bring a little fun and happiness, right out of the pages of Puck the Comic Weekly, straight into your living room. Your friend, the Comic Weekly Man, the jolly Comic Weekly Man. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Well, little Miss Honey, how are you today?
Oh, I'm just wonderful, because this is one of my favorite times.
Oh, I know what you mean. This is Easter.
Yeah, I just love Easter, because then I have a wonderful time looking for Easter eggs in the
bunny leave you lots of eggs this year?
Yeah, he left me lots of chicken eggs.
The bunny left you chicken eggs?
Well, they tasted like chicken when I ate them.
They taste like a chicken or chicken eggs?
Eggs.
Oh, yes. Well, that's the wonderful thing about bunnies. On Easter morning, they always make the eggs taste like chicken eggs. That's one of their tricks.
Oh.
Were they pretty eggs?
Oh, yes. They were all different colors, and some of them had stripes, and some had stars on them.
Oh, well, the ones with stars were laid by the bunny who was good in school.
I'll bet it was. And now, I hope you can read me the funnies and read about Brer Rabbit, because he's one of my favorites, too.
Puck the Comic Weekly? Oh, very well. Now, here we go with Puck the Comic Weekly, and on the first page, oh, here's Hopalong Cassidy.
Oh, I'm anxious to find out what happened to Hoppy and Philip and that boy he was helping.
Well, let's read now and find out. Here we go with Hopalong Cassidy on page 1.
Magic words for the music, please.
Oh, very well, my lady. 6 guns blazing as he thunders along. Give us music for Hopalong. Californian Lucky had been kidnapped by the sheriff's posse. And first picture, Lucky, who is in the cell of the jail, is saying to the deputy, "We didn't kidnap Don Felipe. Turn us loose." Second picture, California says,
"Yeah, well, wait till Hopalong Cassidy hears about this."
The deputy just sneers and says,
"Yep, he will soon. I reckon as how Sheriff Miggs and the posse have caught up with him by now."
Meanwhile, Hoppy is taking Philippe home to his father's ranch. The sheriff, led by Sloat and his men, followed Hoppy there. And last picture, second row, the sheriff is saying to Hoppy,
"You outsmarted yourself, Cassidy. Seeing the law closing in, you beat us here to Don Raymond's with a twisted yarn of how you saved young Philippe from the kidnappers."
And Philippe's father, Don Raymond, says,
"Oh, gracias, Sheriff, for arresting these fraud."
First picture, next row, the sheriff says,
"Well, you can thank Sloat here for warning me in time. The town jail won't seem so lonesome now with Cassidy and his paws as guests."
Sloat snarls.
Let's get started, Sheriff."
The men mount. And as they gallop off, Sloat says to the sheriff,
"I'd lay odds that Cassidy and those two galoots are behind all the recent raids on Don Raymond's hacienda."
The sheriff replies,
"Well, if so, you've done Rio Vista a big favor, Sloat."
and at this point, Sloat and his outlaws bid a farewell to the sheriff who gallops off. First picture, next row. Sloat sends his men back to the shack. And the first picture, next row, he takes a deserted road back trail to the town Rio Vista, so he won't be seen by the sheriff. First picture, bottom row, Sloat's in the local tax collector's office and is reporting to an oily-looking man sitting behind a desk.
"And the sheriff's holding 3 strangers for trial and kidnapping Don Felipe Madeira."
The man sits back in his chair, smiles smugly, and says, last picture,
"Well, I hate to be in their boots if an unruly mob decided not to wait for a trial."
Sloat smiles evilly, saying,
"Yeah, that's just what I've been thinking."
Ooh, what does he mean by that?
"Well, I think he means to get Sloat to rouse the citizens against Hoppy and his pals, so they'll break open the jail and take Hoppy out and lynch him."
Oh my goodness, that's against the law.
I know, but some mean people often do that.
Oh, that's terrible. I wonder what's going to happen.
Now, maybe something will come up, so let's wait till next week to find out.
All right.
Now, how would you like...
Oh, I just love to if it's Brer Rabbit.
Well, since you're so anxious to read Brer Rabbit, let's turn over the page and go past Jungle Jim and look over another page, and there, on page 7, is Uncle Remus and his tales of Brer Rabbit. Say the magic words with me.
Hippity hoppity, make it a habit. Give us music for old Brer Rabbit.
Uncle Remus says,
"The trouble with Brer Fox is he thinks about everybody too much. Yeah, especially about Brer Rabbit."
Brer Sparrow flies to Brer Rabbit, and he says excitedly,
Hey, I just seen Brer Fox home building a trap.
and Brer Rabbit says,
It couldn't be for anybody else but me. Well, come on.
and Brer Swallow leads Brer Rabbit off to where Brer Fox is building a trap. Brer Rabbit hides behind a big rock, and he sees Brer Fox weaving a trap out of willow wands. And Brer Fox is singing,
Rabbit stew, I love you, I-ba-doo-be-doo-be-doo.
and Brer Rabbit sees Brer Fox tying a rope to the top of the tree. And he tows the rope over the top of the tree, and pulls the trap up over the limb of the tree, and then he ties the other end of the rope to a little stake he's driven in the ground. And Brer Fox says,
This here's the best getting out of trap I has ever built.
Last picture, top row, Brer Fox turns to a basket of asparagus, saying,
And sparrowgrass for bait. Rabbits is suckers for sparrowgrass.
and he begins to stick the asparagus into the ground underneath the trap. And Brer Fox says, first picture, bottom row,
Brer Rabbit is gonna get all the sparrowgrass he wants, and then I is gonna get all the rabbit I want.
Brer Rabbit has ideas too. He takes his slingshot out of his pocket, takes careful aim at the stake and at the end of the rope, and then lets fly!
Boing.
And the stone knocks the stake loose, releasing the trap. Trapping Brer Fox. The last picture, he howls,
Arr! Let me out!
and Brer Rabbit throws him a handful of asparagus, and Brer Sparrow says,
Brer Fox is gonna get mighty sick of living on sparrowgrass.
and Brer Rabbit giggles,
Well, it's better for him than rabbit stew.
and Uncle Remus says, a real friend is one that gets there ahead of the need.
Well, that Brer Fox deserved just what he got, the very idea. Trying to set a trap for a nice little rabbit like Brer Rabbit so he can make rabbit stew out of him.
Yes, well, it often happens that when you try to do dirt to the other fellow, the dirt comes right back in your own face.
Yes, and I'm glad it happened to Brer Fox. It served him right.
It certainly did. And now let's turn over to the last page of the first section and see what's there.
Oh, look! There's Roy Rogers.
And I'll read that right now. So here we go on page 1 of the second section of Puck the Comic Weekly with Roy Rogers. Say the magic words with me. Hi-yip, hi-yo, now here we go with Roy and Trigger. Hi-yip, hi-yo. Today is the Wild West Show. As Roy and Dangerfield enter the ring, the escaped convict, Handles Baldwin, disguised as a cowboy, turns a wild bull loose. Roy sees the bull coming at him and yells to Dangerfield, Hey, jump to one side, he'll gore ya! Try to keep him moving, I've got an idea! Dangerfield jumps aside, not a second too soon. Roy quickly pulls his revolver and, with one shot, cuts the rope, holding a red banner on a pole. The banner falls to the ground. As Dangerfield comes running by, last picture, top row, Roy yells, Keep running! He's headed in the right direction! And Roy whips the banner across the bull's eyes. The bull dips and falls to the ground. First picture, bottom row. Hooray! Yippee! Roy and Dangerfield are safe. Handles Baldwin, who is watching from behind a pillar, growls,
Ah, drat it! My scheme to fix Rogers in that showman Dangerfield backfired. I ain't finished yet.
And at that moment, one of the men standing by sees Baldwin and yells, Hey! There's that escaped jailbird Handles Baldwin! Get him! Roy turns and hollers, You're not getting away this time, Baldwin. I aim to keep my promise and deliver you to the sheriff alive. He runs for Baldwin, and the last picture leaps from the saddle of the horse standing nearby.
Now let go of that bridle.
And a cowboy named Chet, holding the reins of the horse, says,
Get off that horse! It's a wild bronc!
Oh, goody. That's a good joke on Handles Baldwin. I just hope that horse bucks him off. And then when he falls to the ground, I hope he bumps his head good and hard. And he gets knocked subconscious. And then Roy will pick him up and put him in the ring and say, Sheriff, here's your man.
Well, next week we'll find out. And so, well, honey, unfortunately, all you boys and girls, I've got to go now.
All right, Comic Weekly man, but I'll be waiting for you next week.
Okay, that's a date. And a date with all you boys and girls. And be sure to meet me with our little friend Miss Honey next week when I read Puff the Comic Weekly. For I'm the Comic Weekly Man, the jolly Comic Weekly Man. I'll be back to read the funnies to you happy boys and bunnies. Don't forget, boys and girls, see you all next week. Your friend, the Comic Weekly Man, the jolly Comic Weekly Man. All hands on deck. Here's Popeye.
I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I am what I am 'cause I am what I am. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man.
We Tina's his diet. He asks you to try it with Popeye the Sailor Man. Well, well, look at that. There's a little girl dragging home from school. My goodness, how slowly she's walking. No zip, no speed. Why, just listen to that. Old Beach ought to be able to catch up with her. Why, hello, little girl. I was just wondering why you were walking so slowly.
Oh, I don't know. Guess I walk as fast as I feel like walking. Yeah, school sort of tires me out.
Well, gee, that's too bad. Say, did you ever hear old Popeye on the radio?
Yes, indeed. Isn't he a funny old fellow?
Well, sure, he's funny, but that's not the point. I'd like you to know why you don't eat his favorite cereal. Now, if you ate with Tina pretty often, I don't think school would tire you at all. Why, that delicious, hot, brown cereal puts zip into your whole body. Helps you get a big kick out of school and play. And it's a grand tasting cereal, too. Now, why don't you try with Tina for a while? I'll bet you'll walk home from school so fast, I'll never catch up with you. Will you try it?
Oh, just try and stop me from trying with Tina. Oh, goodbye.
Amidst peanuts and popcorn, we find Popeye, Wimpy, Olive, and Matey visiting at the zoo. All hands are having one grand and glorious time. They just walked up to the camel's cage.
Well, blow me down. Has yous ever seen the likes of such a peculiar animal?
Gosh, Popeye, those humps in his back looks just like your muscles.
Arf, arf, arf. If I had muscles that big, I could never get me shirt on.
I heard that a camel can go 9 days without water.
Tut, tut, a trivial thing. Going 9 days without hamburgers would be an accomplishment worthy of my admiration.
Wimpy, you's just plain ignorant. Dumb animals never eat fried hamburgers.
Perhaps that is why they are called dumb animals.
Popeye, do you think the camel would like some peanuts?
Now you has me stumped, matey. I know squirrels and elephants eat peanuts, but I never seen a camel eat them.
Well, I'll see if this one does.
I'm proud of you, matey, on account of you wants to share what you got with others.
Here, camel, would you like a peanut?
In camel language, he means desist, stop, quit that.
Be careful, matey. Don't stick your hand in the cage.
He wouldn't hurt me, but I guess Popeye's right. He don't like peanuts.
Would that I were in a cage and the good public came to feed me hamburgers.
Come on, all hands, after the elephant cage, so matey can feed him the peanuts.
Oh, wait! Look at that funny animal. Ha! Do you hear what I hear?
Well, I am a blarsted swab if that funny-looking mutt in that cage ain't a larfing at us.
It is a member of the laughing hyena species.
You mean an animal that can really laugh?
Now I ask you, Olive, does that four-legged hoop sounds like he was crying?
Well, for land's sake, what's he laughing at?
He has just seen Popeye's face.
I say pooey to you, Wimpy. You ain't never won no beauty contest.
a hyena laughing mean a dog barking?
Well, it's about the same thing, I think, matey, I figures.
I figure yonder elephants await their peanuts.
Hooray! For one sick, Wimpy is thinking about somebody else's stomach.
'Twould appear I were a noble soul.
We sets a course for the elephant's cage.
Popeye, elephants are awful big. I wonder if one bag of peanuts will be enough.
Well, matey, we make sure. We stops at this stand and buys more peanuts. Ahoy there! 6 bags of peanuts for matey here.
Okay, here you go, kid.
Gosh, thanks, Popeye.
Forget it, matey. What can I buy you, Olive?
Boss, we got a sponge caker, angel caker, and a stunner caker.
Oh dear, I'll just take a glass of lemonade.
Okay, lady, coming right up. There you are, kid.
Popeye, that sizzling, that beautiful fragrance, that intoxicating aroma.
What are you talking about, Wimpy?
Look, midst lonely Frankfurters lie lordly hamburgers.
So they is.
Popeye, don't torture me.
I don't understand you, Wimpy.
Popeye, you're a fiend. Peanuts for matey, lemonade for Olive, but what, oh what for Wimpy?
Arf, arf, arf. Did you want some peanuts?
Peanuts? Peanuts, he offers me. Papa, this kind gentleman also sells the hamburgers.
Oh, does you want a hamburger, Wimpy?
Zounds, he toys with me. How can you be so cruel? My craving for those luscious hamburgers has me faint.
You like it for to have a hamburger, sport?
So, this is a plot to rob me of my sanity.
Popeye, I think Wimpy does want a hamburger.
Maybe I have my suspicions. That's what he's trying to tell us.
I feel a beast in me rising.
Oh, why don't you try a glass of this lemonade, Wimpy? It's delicious.
Demons, all of you.
All right. Hey, mister, see if Wimpy will eat a hamburger.
Okay, boss, coming right up.
I'm trembling with anticipated agony.
Here you go, sport.
1,000 thanks, royal purveyor of heavenly delectables. Oh, glorious hamburger, only J. Willington Wimpy can appreciate your scrumptious vitamins.
Gee, Wimpy ate that hamburger fast.
A pity that such hamburger were not twins, perchance even quintuplets.
Here's your money, mister.
How do you like that? Thanks, boss.
My friends, we set sail to the elephant cage. Weigh anchor, all hands.
Oh, look, there's the elephants. Goodness gracious, aren't they enormous?
Oh boy, I hope they haven't had their dinner yet.
I'm flabbergasted. One of them monsters on me barge, and she'd hit Davy Jones' walker.
Huge animal indeed.
Hey, Jumbo, come over here. Look what I got for you.
Isn't he heavy?
I pities the poor swab's foot he steps on.
Here's some peanuts for you, Jumbo.
Blow me down. He sucks them up like a vacuum cleaner.
Isn't it cute the way he curls up his trunk and blows them into his mouth?
Here you are, Jumbo. I got some more for you.
Oh, look, all the little children playing piggyback on yonder elephant.
Oh, where? Oh, look, Popeye. Look at all the kids.
I'm surprised. Riding an elephant?
Oh, please, Popeye. Can I go for a ride?
Sure, matey.
Now, Popeye, it's too dangerous for the child.
Oh, gee, all the other kids are doing it.
Stow your fears, Olive. If the other young ones can ride the elephant, so can matey.
Oh, boy. Thanks, Popeye. Come on.
Then can't you bring the other elephants over here?
Nay, Muhammad must go to the mountain.
Full speed ahead before it's too late. Come on. Avast there, Captain. Don't weigh anchor yet. Matey's coming aboard.
last trip. Time for the other elephants to go in now.
Aw, shucks, I wanted a ride.
And you get your ride. I buys all your tickets, mister.
Well, I guess one more round wouldn't hurt.
Oh boy, give me a hand, Popeye.
The elephant will lift you up, matey, with his trunk.
Here, Jumbo, put your trunk around the lad. Up you go.
Whoa! Gosh, it's high up here!
Anybody else going?
Oliver, I think you better board the craft with me.
Me?
The stand waits, Miss Oil.
Oh, Popeye, is it safe?
Sure, just like riding in me barge.
Will he squeeze me when he lifts me up?
Nah, come on, up you goes.
Please, Mr. Elephant. Oh. Oh! Oh! Oh, Popeye, I'm scared!
Don't worry, Olive, I'm here.
All set?
Aye, aye, Captain. You can shove off.
Gracious! What's that?
Ah, a junior rodent. Greetings, Mickey.
Hey, look out! It's a mouse!
A little mousey can't hurt none.
But elephants are definitely afraid of mice.
Oh, it's getting rough!
Can't hold the elephant.
Give me that rope.
Go away, naughty mouse.
Boy, this is like riding a fucking bronco.
Stand still, you elephant.
Popeye, hold him!
Look out! The rope!
The blasted rope busted you.
Help! Help!
Ride a cowboy!
He's running wild!
The elephant can't run out of the cage. I'll catch him when he comes around.
You can't do that, you'll be killed!
I'm gonna rescue Matey and Olive.
The cowardly mammal is returning.
I stands right here and stops the elephant.
Man alive, how can you stop a wild elephant?
I grabs him by the nose.
Here he comes! Get out of the way!
I am not scared of no elephant.
Run, he'll trample you down!
I said I catches him by the nose.
Now, Popeye will be killed!
Yippee! Come and play, Popeye!
I saved you, Olive.
I told you you'd get hurt!
Now I am mad at that elephant because he knocks me down.
Help! Help!
Yippee!
Twould seem the mammal has won the first round.
I catches the beast, but I need extra muscles. Wimpy, me favorite cereal.
What are your requirements, Popeye?
Because the elephant is the biggest monster in the world, I needs at least 4 bulls to stop him.
4 bulls coming up.
Look, it's Latina!
Here's one, and another, and a third, and a fourth.
Now, look at me muscles. Now watch me catch that elephant and lay him among the sweet peas.
He's coming faster this time! You'll be killed!
Come on, elephant! I checked your trunk.
Popeye, save me!
Ride a cowboy!
Look out!
I stopped some olive. Cast anchor there. Cast anchor, you monster.
Holy smokes! He stopped the elephant!
Popeye, he resents your holding his nose.
Stand still, you beast, or I sock you one.
Get me off! Get me off!
Roll him, Popeye!
Stand still, I says.
Watch out! He's gonna lift you with his trunk! Let go!
Popeye never lets go.
Look out! I told you he'd raise you right up! Let go or he'll smash you against the bars of the cage!
It's too bad I has to do it, but Mr. Elephant, you forces me to sock you.
Oh, he's wobbling, Popeye! Give him another! Oh, that did it! The elephant's down! Hooray!
Boy, what a sock!
Oh, Popeye, you're marvelous!
I am a sad swab on account I had to sock a poor dumb man mule.
Oh, don't worry about the elephant. He's got a thick skull. He'll get over it.
That's good. And because I did not mean to hurt him, I hope this elephant forgets.
See, Popeye,
Yeah, matey?
it was only a teeny-weeny mouse that scared that big elephant, wasn't it?
Yeah, matey, which only goes to show, no matter how big anybody is, don't underestimate the little fella.
let's get this cereal business straight. As you know, there are a number of wheat cereals on the market, some hot, some cold. Several of them have wheat-sounding names, but they're not like Wheatina. There's only one Wheatina. W-H-E-A-T, wheat, E-N-A. Now, don't forget those last three letters, E-N-A, Wheatina. Now, why is Wheatina hot? Well, because hot cereals are better for you. Where does that delicious cereal flavor come from? From toasting that unrobbed wheat, only as Wheatina does it. And when you want the hot brown wheat cereal that gives you that vital part of the whole grain and tastes so G-O-O-D good, you have to have Wheatinas.
Sailor Man. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I am what I am, 'cause I am what I am. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man.
Hold it, Wilmer. Hold it till I get this phone. Wallet, Bobble Garage, Skizik's Wallet speaking. What's that? Oh, yes, sir, we can fix it. We can fix anything on four wheels. Sure. We'll be waiting for you right here in Gasoline Alley.
Yes, it's Gasoline Alley, the comic strip that's a favorite in more than 100 great newspapers from coast to coast. In this episode, The Adventures of the Hypnotized Hero, the boys get mixed up in quite a mishmash of mesmerism. But right now, a word from the friendly Autolite dealer in your hometown. The loquacious limousine and in top 4.
Sure, Harlow. And it's because I'm equipped with an Autolite electrical system.
Now then, you must have an Autolite starting motor, generator, battery coil, distributor, and a set of Autolite spark plugs, plus all the other important parts that go to make up the complete Autolite electrical system, used as original equipment on many leading makes of our finest cars, trucks, and tractors.
Oh, you bet I do, Harlow.
Oh, that means every unit and component part of your Autolite electrical system is related by Autolite engineering design and manufacturing skill to give the smoothest performance money can buy.
Well, that's why my owner always insists on Autolite original factory parts.
And friends, you'll find it pays to insist on Autolite original factory parts for your Autolite equipped car. Because from bumper to tail light, you're always right with Autolite. And now, Gasoline Alley. Just lately, there's been an epidemic of auto thefts in town, all attributed to Hot Car Harry. So this morning, Skizix and his partner, Wilmer Bobble, are installing new locks on Professor Folsom's car. At least, Skizix is. As for Wilmer, well, Wilmer's mind seems concerned with something else entirely.
There, almost finished. Hand me that screwdriver, Wilmer.
Huh? Oh, here you are, Skizix.
Wilmer, that's a ball peen hammer, not a screwdriver.
Huh? Oh, sure. Screwdriver. Here.
Ah.
I wonder why the mailman doesn't come.
Will you stop worrying about the mail? I told you 10 times, Rufus is out front. He'll bring the mail when it comes.
Yeah, if he doesn't go to sleep instead. What's the matter with him this morning? Hey, that's an idea.
What's an idea? What are you talking about?
When I get what the mailman's bringing me, I'll really put Rufus to sleep.
Well, that wouldn't be hard to do. Well, the locks are finished. Professor Folsom will just remember to lock it. I'd like to see Hot Car Harry get away with this one.
There it is, Wilmer. That mail you've been in such a sweat about.
Oh boy, swell. Let's have it, Rufus.
Okay. Home Institute of Hypnotic Arts. Well, Wilmer, now you're going to be a hypnotimus. A niptohitimus. So now you're a sucker for something else.
Hand it here, nosy there. There, Skizix. What do you think of that? Take a look.
Hypnotism in 10 easy lessons. Now what, Wilmer?
Sure. See, they send me lessons 1 and 2. Now, just let me have a look here. To put your subject in a trance, look him straight in the eyes and say, "You are in my power." And you say, you will now sleep. You are very sleepy.
Oh, I sure am, Wilmer.
Rufus, I wasn't even looking at you.
I know, but I'm sleepy just the same.
My gosh, that's it. I'll hypnotize Rufus.
Oh, no, Wilmer. No, you don't.
Yeah, before you go into your act, Wilmer, how about seeing what that customer wants?
Okay, Skeezix, but stay right where you are, Rufus. Lesson 2. Fix the subject with a steady, cold, reptilian stare.
Sometimes I think that Wilmer is almost as dumb as I am. Hey, Skeezix, why don't I let Wilmer hypnotize me, huh?
Wilmer doesn't know much about it, Rufus.
I know, but just to make him happy, I could
Wait, here he comes.
It was just a guy putting some free air in his tires. Okay, Rufus, you ready to be hypnotized? I got it all studied out.
Sure, Wilmer, I'm ready. I'm really ready. Huh, Skeezix?
Rufus, I don't believe...
Pay no attention to Skeezix, Rufus. I'll just prove to him I can do it.
Oh, I'm sure you can do it, Wilmer. In fact, I can guarantee it. I mean...
Now, where's my book? Oh, yeah, here we go. Now, look me right in the eyes, Rufus. Keep looking. There. Hey, Rufus, you are now in my power.
Yes, Master. I am in your power.
Yeah, he's... Holy smokes, Skeezix! Even I didn't think it would work that fast.
Oh, now look, Wilmer, Rufus isn't really hypnotized. He just...
The heck he isn't hypnotized. I got eyes, haven't I? You are very, very sleepy. Aren't you, Rufus?
Yes, Master.
Look at that, Skeezix. He's so sound asleep. He's snoring.
Yes, Wilmer, but I've been trying to tell you...
Wait a minute. Let me see what else I could make him do. Hey, listen, Rufus. You are now a little woolly lamb. See? A lamb.
Yes, Master.
Oh, all right, fellas. That's enough horseplay. Customer just drove in with a flat tire. Come on, Wilmer.
Okay, Skeezix. Okay, Rufus. Snap out of it. You are now out of my power.
Hey, Wilmer, look. It's Mayor Ransom's car.
Yeah, I recognize it.
Well, how are you today, Your Honor?
What did you just call me, bub?
That's not Mayor Ransom, Skeezix. Boy, what a tough guy.
I saw you in Mayor Ransom's car, so I thought you were Mayor Ransom.
Well, I ain't Mayor Ransom, and this ain't Mayor Ransom's car.
Oh, yes, it is Mayor Ransom's car, mister. We work on it plenty of times, and we know.
Okay, I want you to work on it again right now. Get busy and fix this flat tire.
Then, of course, the mayor wants us to put on a new set of 4 super balloons he talked to us
Look,
about.
bub, I just want this flat tire fixed and fast, see?
But the mayor asked us to order them, and we got them. He told us to put them on the first time he had a flag.
Well, he changed his mind.
Changed his mind? I think I'd better call him up.
Yeah, and I think,
What?
if you take one more step up, I'll have to use this thing on you.
Holy smokes, a gun, a rod.
Right, stupid. And I know how to use it, too.
Skeezix. This guy must be, he must be.
Okay, stupid. If you insist on a formal intro, the name is Harry. Hot car Harry.
The car thief.
Right. The cops are looking for me, so I'm in a slight hurry. Now then, do you guys fix this flag, or do I start shooting?
Wilcox! I say there, Wilcox, old man!
Remington Chester shotgun as I live, breathe, and batter my brain for burgeoning boasts about the bettering of the battery, the Autolite Stay Full battery, the battery that needs water only 3 times a year in normal car use.
Cease sounding off! Was it not you who defied me to find a camel that could go without water as long as an Autolite Stay Full battery?
Defy you I did, you dubious dunderhead.
Please, no compliments. I concede your claim regarding ordinary 1-hump camels, but what about a 2-humped camel? Need I say more?
Ooh, Why, you probably mean he can go twice as long without refilling. But Autolite's Stay Full battery holds over 3 times as much liquid reserve above the place as ordinary batteries. Need I say more?
Zounds! I shall have to find a dromedary with 4 humps.
Even that won't do it. For Autolite Stay Full batteries need water only 3 times a year in normal car use. What's more, in recent tests based on SAE life cycle standards, Autolite Stay Full batteries gave 70% longer average life than batteries without Stay Full features. So get wise. Get an Autolite Stay Full battery, because you're always right with Autolite. Now, back to Gasoline Alley and the adventure of the hypnotized hero. Right now, Skeezix, Wilmer, and Rufus are changing a tire on Mayor Ransom's car, which had been stolen by the notorious auto thief Hot Car Harry. And at the moment, Hot Car Harry himself is standing over the boys with a gun.
All right, you yokels, get a move on with that tire.
We're working as fast as we can, Mr. Mr. Harry.
We work faster if you point that cannon the other way.
Stop shaking, Wilmer, and hand me the tire tube.
You better be scared, and you better hurry, too. You there?
You mean me, Mr. Harry?
Yeah, you. Snap it up. Stop stumbling around like you're asleep on your feet.
Rufus can't help it. He always looks like that.
I wish I were asleep somewhere far, far away from here.
Sleep? Skeezix, that gives me a great idea.
What do you mean, Wilmer?
Sleep. By using my hypnotism, I'll put Hot Car Harry to sleep.
Wilmer, you're crazy.
I hypnotized Rufus, didn't I?
I tried to tell you about that. Rufus was just...
All right, you two. What's all that mumbling about down there? Well, here I go, Skeezix. Hey, you. What are you standing up for?
Wilmer, please. Rufus!
Shut up, you. Okay, stupid. What are you up to? I want you to look in my eyes, Mr. Hot Car Harry. Well, at a time like this, stupid feels romantic. Hey, look, though. You are now in my power, Mr. Hot Car Harry. What are you talking about? You are now getting very sleepy. You are now getting slightly nuts. I slept 9 hours last night. You are now getting very, very sleepy. Look, Bird Brain, I don't know what you're up to, but you better stop right where you are.
Wilmer, he's pointing the gun at you.
Yeah, you've got some sense, bub. You better stop him before You are now getting very, very... Stop staring at me like that. Listen, you other guys. Is this character nuts?
He thinks he's a hypnotist, but he isn't that.
Yeah, he's gone completely off his rocker. Now listen to you. I don't like shooting no crazy guys. You are now a little woolly lamb. Hey, do something. This crazy mug's pulling on me. Watch out. You'll get him off me.
I'll have to hold him up, Mr. Harry. I'll also give you this.
Skeezix, you knocked him out.
Yeah, and Wilmer's out too. Don't stand there, Rufus. Tie up Hot Car Harry with that piece of wire.
Okay. There you are.
Good. Wilmer, wake up. Wilmer.
What? Where am I?
Wilmer, you hypnotized yourself. You fell on your face.
Yeah, and now Mr. Hot Car is out on his back.
He's out on... Holy smokes! Skeezix, it worked! I hypnotized him!
You didn't hypnotize anybody but yourself, Wilmer.
Well, why the... Huh? What's he doing there on the floor?
Skeezix hit him on the jaw and knocked him there.
You might have been killed, Wilmer. I tried to tell you that you haven't got any hypnotic powers.
But I have. I hypnotized Rufus.
Go on, tell him, Rufus.
That was a joke, Wilmer. I wasn't hypnotized. I was pretending.
You mean I walked into this guy's gun thinking I could... Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Hey, look, Skeezix. Wilmer has hypnotized himself again.
Now, a word about the next adventure in Gasoline Alley. Here's Skeezix.
Well, now that we're on our own for the evening, Wilmer, let's go to the restaurant for dinner.
A restaurant, Skeezix? Didn't you ever hear of the J. Wilmer method of broiling a steak?
Frankly, no. How do you do it?
He puts the steak under the fire in the oven, Skeezix, and then he puts a big pot of water on the stove.
Yes, Rufus, and then?
The water boils over just as the steak catches on fire, and that keeps the house from burning down. Don't touch that dial, because there's nothing else on. You might just as well listen to Blondie. Blondie, rebroadcast for the servicemen and women of the United Nations, with Betty Singleton and Arthur Lake as Blondie and Dagwood Bumstead, respectively. And now, for our weekly visit with our neighbors, the Bumsteads of Shady Lane Avenue. Well, Dagwood and his next-door neighbor, Herb Woodley, are usually feuding with each other. Today is no exception. Already there have been a couple of border clashes, and right now, while Blondie is in the kitchen, Dagwood is doing a little reconnaissance around Woodley's garage. All is quiet. And then...
Blondie! Oh dear. Well, I suppose that maybe got another black eye, or a bloody nose, or a shoe has come untied. They've done nothing but fight all day.
Oh, there you are. Oh, my.
Dagwood?
What?
What are you doing with your finger in that mousetrap?
Well, you know, I told you that I thought it was Woodley who has been taking tools out of my garage at night and putting them back in the next night?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to see if he had any of my tools in his garage. I was reaching inside the window to unlock the door when wham! Oh, boy, does it hurt?
Well, take your finger out of it.
Oh, yes, that's right. What do you guess, Blondie? It was a booby trap.
I guess he trapped one then.
Yeah, huh?
Look, Dagwood, there's a note in the mousetrap.
A note?
I wonder what it is.
Well, maybe it's an apology, huh?
Well, let me see.
What's it say?
It says, "Nuts to you, Bumstead." My, what a lovely sentiment.
Yeah, sentiment, huh? Oh, murder that wise guy. I'll rip him to shreds. I'll tear him into squares and hang him out like doggies. I'll pop him in the chops and kick him out until I lose him.
Dagwood, for heaven's sake.
Oh, don't try to stop me!
Dagwood, please stop.
Yes, dear.
Now, Dagwood, in the first place, I don't think that Mr. Woodley has really been stealing tools out of your garage.
Well, my hand drill is gone.
Is that a thing that you hold and turn like an egg beater?
Yeah. I'd give $100 to know where it is.
Oh, well, Mr. Woodley does have that. And hand over the $100.
Huh? Well, how do you know he has it?
Because I loaned it to him.
Oh.
And now hand over the $100.
That was just a figure of speech, Blondie.
Oh, look, Dagwood, you promised.
I didn't mean it literally, Blondie. It was just a figure of speech.
Dagwood.
Besides, why did you give the drill to Woodley?
Well, he said he preferred to borrow it from me.
He prefers it, huh? Well, he never would have gotten it from me.
He said that, too. Now stop making so much out of nothing at all. You're not losing any tools. They're getting returned, aren't they? And you ought to be ashamed of yourself, the way you've been fighting with Mr. Woodley. He's very nice, and I think he really likes you a lot.
He's nice, huh?
Yes.
Really? I doubt that.
Now look, Dagwood, you always start the trouble. I wish you promised me something.
Well, all right. Well, what is it, Blondie?
The next time you and Mr. Woodley meet, you let him talk first.
Eh?
He'll be surprised. You'll probably say something very nice.
Yeah, but
Now, let's go see who's at the door. Will you do that now?
Yeah, well, okay, Blondie. I promise to be nice.
I'm sure you'll say something that will just surprise you. Oh, hello, Mr. Woodley.
Hello, Blondie. Hello, stupid.
Hello, good-looking.
Who are you calling good looking? Oh, why am I complaining? Or did you sneer when you said it?
What do you want, Mr. Woodley?
Bumstead, I accuse you of stealing one of my mousetraps. Come on now, hand it over.
What are you gonna do with it?
Gonna turn it in for a trap that's got teeth in it.
No, Blondie, please let me hit him now.
Now look out, Bumstead, don't you touch me.
I only want to paste him once or twice, so come on, Blondie, go ahead and let me.
Now, don't come near me, Bumstead.
No, Dagwood, if you hit Mr. Woodley, you're going to have trouble with me.
Go ahead, hit me, I dare you. Just try and start something.
Start something, huh? Okay, Woodley, you asked for it, and now you're right back.
Oh, Mr. Woodley, why do you and Dagwood have to fight like this?
Well, we don't have to, but it's more fun this way.
Now, couldn't you just be nice to him when he comes back with a mousetrap? You know, just say something pleasant. Won't you do it? Please.
Well, I do want to borrow his electric jigsaw.
Then will you do it for old time's sake, Mr. Woodley?
No, but I'll do it for the electric jigsaw. Uh-oh, here he comes.
I got the mousetrap for you.
Ah, that's swell of you, Dagwood. You're a really swell guy, old palsy-walsy.
Yeah? Well, thanks, Herb. Here's your trap.
Thanks, Dagwood. Oh, my fingers!
So long, Woodley.
Say, Ma. Say, Ma.
Yes, Alexander?
What's Pop laying on his stomach out by the garage for? Looks like he's out hunting snipe.
He's hunting Woodley. He's trying to catch Mr. Woodley, but he's more likely to catch a cold.
Gosh, sometimes Pop seems just like a big kid.
Well, that's normal. I mean, all grown men act like children from time to time. You should see them at conventions. No, I guess I'd rather you didn't see them.
I know what you mean. Everyone ends up wearing funny hats.
With confetti in their hair.
Let's go out and see if Pop had any success.
All right, Alexander. Now be careful, Alexander. These back steps are very dark.
Okay. Hi, Pop. What's cooking? Or maybe I should say, what's freezing?
Have you caught Mr. Woodley yet?
Oh, for the love of Pete, shh, not so loud.
Well, you haven't answered my question yet, Dagwood.
Oh, I haven't caught him yet, and stop talking so loud.
Not so loud, Pop.
Oh, yes, shh, please. Oh, please go away. As long as you're here, no one will sneak up to the garage.
Why not?
Well, because... Who is that?
Hello, Mr. Niles.
Hi, Mr. Niles.
Hello, folks. Why, what's the matter, Dagwood? You leaped like a salmon going upstream.
Yeah.
And what were you doing in the ground?
Shh, please be quiet.
Huh?
Oh. What's he whispering about? Oh, yeah, that's the right idea.
Dagwood, this is getting very silly. Come on inside.
Yeah, well, okay. I guess I got everything rigged up now. Let's see.
What's that clothesline you got there, Pop?
Oh, the clothesline? Well, it's attached to a lot of junk and stuff that I put on the garage roof, you see. Now, when Woodley tries to sneak into the garage tonight and walk under it, I'll pull the rope and crack!
Pretty subtle stuff, dear.
Yeah, well, hey, Blondie, go on, get inside quick. Here comes someone.
Come on, Alexander.
Okay.
Oh, I can't wait to pull these cords. Oh, boy. Woody will get clogged with everything but the kitchen sink. Hey, one of the things I got up there is the kitchen sink. Oh, here he comes. He's almost here. I'll say something to him and then pull the rope before he can answer. Is that my friend Herb Woodley?
No, it's your boss, J.C. Dithers.
Don't look out, Mr. Dithers! I wonder if I should just shoot myself now or later. Mr. Dithers? Mr. Dithers, where are you? I'll dig you out, Mr. Dithers. Oh, there you are. Oh, wait a minute, let me get that clock spring out of your ear. Well, I guess I sort of surprised you. Could you be laughing, Mr. Dithers?
Well, we all have to go sometime. Who says you're overdue? You might as well go right now.
No, now, Mr. Dithers. Now don't do anything you'd regret. You've got a lot, well, you've got to let off steam. So go ahead and blow your top. Just don't blow it my way.
Bumstead!
Oh.
You pickle-headed, wop-litted, bold-brained, dopey, drooling, dribbling, dog-faced drip!
You left out nincompoop.
Thank you. Now, Bumstead, you can't possibly have a brain.
Huh?
I'll bet 20 to 1 that stuff swashing around in your dome is rancid rhubarb. With how many grits?
Oh, you think it is, huh? Well, that's a bet. Yeah. Then how are you gonna prove it?
Easy. Just hand me an axe.
Oh, now wait a minute, Mr. Dithers. Just wait a minute, I surrender. I didn't know it was you.
I told you I was coming over tonight.
Yes, but I thought you'd drive over.
Well, I ran out of coupons. I had to walk over. And I took the shortcut through the alley.
Did I hear a noise out here? Oh, hello, Mr. Dithers.
That was more than a noise. It was almost an assassination.
Oh, Mr. Dithers, did you draw the lucky number?
Yeah, I hit the jackpot.
Come on in, Mr. Dithers.
Oh, thank you, Blondie. Blondie.
Can I come in too?
Oh, yes, dear.
I was afraid I'd have to sleep with Daisy and the puppies tonight. And then I'd have to spend all of tomorrow scratching myself.
Now, I'd like to know an explanation for all that junk I stepped into.
Well, Mr. Dithers, someone has been stealing tools out of my garage. They would steal them one night and then put them back the next. Now, I think it's Herb Woodley. That's who I had the trap set for.
Dagwood's already called the police about it.
Yeah.
I think that's enough.
Oh, no, it isn't, Blondie. I really want to pour it on.
Oh, Herb Woodley, eh?
Yeah.
Well, let's set the trap up again.
Huh? Oh, boy, okay, JC, okay.
Only this time, I'll booby up the trap, you hoobie babe.
Oh, Mr. Dithers, the idea. A man at your age.
My age? I'm only 36.
Uh-huh.
39? 42? 42 and a half. For heaven's sake, stop me. 45? Okay. So I went to Sunday school with my job.
Well, I'm surprised at you.
Blondie, it's our duty as citizens to apprehend any crooks that are at large.
Can we help it if he turns out to be fun?
And instead of merely killing a person, you ought to find a way to mark him so you know who it is tomorrow.
That's a great idea, Blondie.
Oh, boy!
Hey, Dagwood.
Huh?
Do you happen to have about half a can of old green paint?
Oh, dear. Why didn't I keep quiet?
Shh. Quiet now.
Huh?
Don't move.
Yeah?
Here comes somebody.
Hey, JC, look. He's got a flashlight.
I'm watching. See how much better this is, Dagwood?
Yeah.
The string that fits over the paint can goes in the window here. You don't have to lie out in the cold.
Oh, Mr. Dithers, you're a genius.
Oh, you're just saying that. Look.
Huh?
Look, he's going into the garage.
Oh, this'll teach Woodley.
Right. Yeah.
He's getting closer now.
Okay. He's right on us. Here goes.
Oh, boy, a bullseye. Come on, JC.
I wouldn't make a bad bombardier, would I?
Well, what happened out here?
Well, I don't know what happened here.
Huh?
Something fell off the roof and hit me in the head.
Well, who are you?
I'm Officer Hannigan.
Well, good night, Dagwood.
Stick around! Stick around, Mr. J.C. Dithers, 414 South Oak Street.
Why, Bumstead, 5 feet 11, weight 165, I do.
I was checking up under a call we had about prowling.
Huh?
I wonder what this stuff is on me head.
Oh.
Oh, well, I've got it. My flashlight, it won't work. It seems like syrup.
Oh, yes, it's molasses.
Yes, it's just plain molasses without cornbread.
Let's see here now. Well, it don't taste like molasses.
Well, it's wartime molasses. It's a sort of victory molasses.
It's all over me new uniform. It can't be molasses. That's sort of a dark green tint.
Now, there's a man who can taste colors.
Yes! You are so right. Here's something to help you get it off.
Yeah? What is it?
Paint remover.
Oh!
No, I mean molasses.
Oh, yes. That sticky molasses is really tough.
Well, what's going on out here? Did you two spill that green paint on somebody?
Oh, no.
Green paint!
Oh, dear, a policeman.
Yeah, well, she didn't say green paint. She said, you take it, JC.
Well, you heard her. She said, I checked.
Did I say something wrong?
Oh, green paint, eh? Well, an officer of the law, eh? Well, come on. You guys are going to jail.
No, let go of me. I'll stand on my constitutional right.
Okay, stand them in the jug.
Yes, and I'll stand on my habeas corpus.
Oh, double jointed, eh?
Huh?
All right, come on, you.
Well, it must have happened last night when I was down at the police station. But anyway, my electric jigsaw is gone.
Oh, dear. And Mr. Woodley wanted to borrow that yesterday.
Oh, he did, huh?
Oh, there he is. Now just be nice. Oh, hello there, Mr. Woodley.
Hello, Blondie. Hello, jailbird.
Hello, you sauce snitcher.
Now, stop. Don't go another step or I'll sue you for trespassing on my property.
Why, Mr. Woodley, that's our property for another 15 feet.
Yeah, where's that stake that marks the property line?
There it is. Right behind you.
Huh?
Behind us?
Woodley, you moved those stakes last night.
Oh, Dagwood, how could you think I'd stoop so low?
Stoop, huh? You'd have to stretch up to do such a low trick, you stoop. Run off, Blondie. I'm gonna pull up those stakes again.
You touch them, and I'll call that cop.
Look out! Look out! Here they go!
Hey, officer! Help! Hey, officer!
Dagwood, don't. Here comes that policeman.
Yeah, well, I don't care. I'm in the right.
Please, Dagwood.
Hey, what's going on here? He's trying to move that property line stake.
I don't care what anybody owns.
Well, it's you, Mr. Bumstead, huh?
Well,
I guess you recognized me by the color of me green eyebrows, didn't you?
well, green isn't very becoming to an Irishman.
Shut up!
Oh.
Officer, the stake has been moved.
Oh, well, has it, Mr. Woodley? I rather doubt it.
Huh?
Oh, do you, eh? Well, then, so do I. Would you like to put charges against Bumstead? Well...
Oh, please don't, Mr. Woodley.
I don't know. Oh, come on. I'd be delighted to book him at the station again. Well, it would be a better world if we could keep him behind bars.
Yeah, well, I just dare you to arrest me. Go ahead. I'll take this to the Supreme Court.
I'd like to charge you with a lot of things. I'd think of something before I got to the station.
Oh, Officer Hannigan?
Yes?
Oh, sure, you're tall and you're dark and you're handsome. Oh, sure, McGuire. You wouldn't arrest a fine draft of a husband like him, would ye?
Why, it'd be a gift, Dalton. Oh, so you're Irish, are you?
Uh-huh.
Well, me mither came from the old side, you know.
Yeah? Well, and me fither came from there, too. Sure, and it's going to be abroad the Brit Boodlick Nick tonight.
Dagwood.
Huh?
That's Scotch.
Oh, yes, excuse me.
Officer Hannigan, surely you don't want to arrest a man called Dagwood, Cranefield, Houlihan, Shanahan, Bumstead?
Why, he's as Irish as Patty Cream. But not as clean. Go ahead and throw him in the jug, officer. No. I'll let you off this time, Bumstead.
Oh, thank you, and Aaron Dobra.
Now, you leave those stakes where they are.
Oh, yes, sir.
So long, Dagwood.
Oh, I'm gonna get the goods on that guy Woodley tonight. I'm gonna rig up those tin cans and I know what I'll do. I'll fix up my flashlight camera so it'll take a picture and catch Woodley in the act.
More coffee, dear?
Oh, hey, thanks, Blondie. Gosh, I can't wait to take that film out of the developer and see how Woodley turned out in the picture. Where's Alexander?
Oh, he's got to go to school pretty soon, but I think he went out to the backyard. Oh, I guess he's coming in now.
Oh, Pa, I got a little present for you.
Huh?
I made it myself.
Oh.
Here it is.
Oh, say, this is wonderful. Well, this is marvelous. This has got me fooled.
Well, I know you only use one tie.
Huh?
This is the world's only and fanciest one-tie tie rack.
Yes! Just what I needed. Hey, when did you make this?
Well, I wanted to surprise you, so I've been making it in Mr. Woodley's garage. But I had to borrow your tools.
You got it. So you're the one who's stealing my...
Dagwood.
Oh, yes. Well, thank you very much for the tie thing, Alexander.
I'm glad you like it, Pop. Well, I'm going to go to school now. So long, folks.
Bye, dear.
Bye.
Now, you see, Dagwood, you were all wrong.
Yeah, I guess so.
Here you've been feuding with Mr. Woodley over nothing at all. He's been entirely innocent.
Yeah. Gosh, I'm a dope. Blondie, I said I'm a dope.
I heard you, dear.
Thought you're gonna contradict me?
No, dear.
Um,
Come in. Why, it's Mr. Woodley.
Hello, my dear friend.
hello, stupid.
Dagwood, pal, I've come to ask you, please, not to develop that flashlight picture picture you took of me last night.
Yes, well,
Why? Was it Mr. Woodley? Was it you?
Yeah, what were you doing out there?
Well, you won't tell Harriet, will you?
Don't, no.
Yeah, I won't either.
Well, the flashlight bulb went off when I was climbing over the fence. I was sneaking home from a poker game.
Yeah? Poker, huh?
Don't tell Harriet. You won't tell Harriet now.
Oh, no. But I may just show her the picture. Poker, huh? Did you lose your shirt?
No, just my shoes and sport coat.
But didn't the noise of the cans and things wake Harriet up?
Well, yeah. But I went upstairs and I told her I was just finished beating up a burglar. You know Harriet. She's pleasantly dumb.
Well, Mr. Woodley, will you move those stakes back where they belong?
Oh, sure, sure. I'll be glad to, Blondie. Will you, give me that negative?
Well, Woodley, we won't show them to Harriet unless we have trouble with you in the future.
Oh, you won't, my dear friend. I assure you, you won't. I'll go right out and put the stakes back in. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, well, goodbye. And after this, watch your step when you're dealing with the bumsteads.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, that's better.
Well, dear, let's take a look at that negative, shall we?
Yeah.
I'd like to see how the picture turned out. Open the closet door and take it out of the developer, dear.
Okay, Blondie. I hope Woodley looks guilty in the picture.
He's bound to without a coat and shoes.
Yeah, well, there it is. Let's hold it up to the light and see it. Ha, ha!
Oh, yes, gee, it turned out very well.
Yes. Hey, look at that.
Oh, isn't that a scream?
Yeah, I'll say Blondie.
Oh, dear. You know, I've never seen a more surprised expression on our dog Daisy's face. Who is it?
It is I.
It is I. Well, what kind of grammar is that to start? Oh, hey, that's correct, isn't it?
Why, naturally. I came to get my geography book.
Incidentally, Alexander, you came in a little late last night.
Yeah, it was 9:30. I was over at Baby Snook's house. I love that gal.
Yeah, well, what made you so late?
Snooks and I had to revive her father.
Huh?
Why? What happened? Did she knock a vase onto his head or something?
Oh, no, that was another time.
Oh.
As president of our kids club, I went over to pick up some Life magazines for the paper drive. Early in the day, I left a note, but somehow it seemed to scare her father silly.
Well, what did the note say?
Oh, nothing special. It was signed The Scorpions. That's our club.
Oh, yes.
And it said, "We are coming to take your life at 9 o'clock sharp."
Oh, dear. You and Baby Snooks make quite a pair.
This is the Armed Forces Radio Service.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for joining us today as we've taken a look at the comic strips that made it to the radio and the friends and enemies. Well, we hope you've had a wonderful time today, and perhaps next time you read the Sunday Funnies, you'll hear them a little differently. We're winding up our 9th year with doing these shows here at the Oak Park Arms, and our final show for the season is sure to be quite an adventure. What with all the summer blockbuster superhero movies that are coming out, with Captain America, Thor, the Green Lantern, and more, we thought we'd go back to one of the first superheroes ever, at least one of the first who had a secret identity. Yes, by day he was an English aristocrat, but by night he was known as the Scarlet Pimpernel. Yes, that's right. Join us Sunday, May 22nd, for the Lux Radio Theater adaptation of the popular film The Scarlet Pimpernel with Leslie Howard and Olivia de Havilland. It's sure to be an international adventure you won't soon forget. And for more information about our past shows as well as our upcoming shows, you can visit our website at www.ttdyradio.com. And now for the cast of Those Thrilling Days of Yesteryear. Playing the Popeye announcer, Wilbur and Mr. Dithers, Don Giggle. Covering the roles of Popeye and Herb Woodley, John Gould. Hancock's John Corona. And of course, no radio show would be complete without the synchronous sound effect stylings of Julie Rogers-Baker, Aaron Wilkinson, and John Corona. Lost my place here. Yes, and a special thanks to your magnificent musical magic of Bob Marine on the piano. And I'm your producer, director, and your comic weekly man, Ben Dooley. And on behalf of the cast, we'd like to extend our thanks to you, the audience, for once again helping our show to come alive and for living those thrilling days of yesteryear so that we could bring them back to you.